You ever get kicked out of something you didn't even know you were still a part of? That was me. Family Edition. It started on a Tuesday, the most boring day of the week. I was at work, elbows deep in someone else's plumbing disaster, a backed-up kitchen sink with the kind of stench that could melt eyelashes, when my phone buzzed. Group chat, Family United Revolving Hearts. Spoiler, the title was a lie. I wiped my hands, opened the message, and stared. Mom. After much discussion, we've decided we need space from you. Please don't contact us again. At all. Ever. Not. Can we talk? Not. We're upset. Just full-on exile. Medieval style. Followed by a thumbs-up reaction from my sister, Erin. Because of course it was. I read it 3 times. Once for shock. Twice to check if maybe I missed context. Nope, just a good ol' boot out the door by text situation. No warning. No fight. Just bam, family breakup via group chat. I stood there in a stranger's kitchen that smelled like expired regret, just staring at my screen thinking, this has got to be a joke. But it wasn't. And the weirdest part? I didn't even feel angry. I felt relieved. I took a breath, typed 1 word, and hit send. Me. Understood. No essay. No guilt trip. No begging. Just a calm confirmation, like someone agreeing to be fired from a job they didn't even like. But what they didn't know was that in that moment, I wasn't just accepting their message. I was making a decision. Because I had receipts. Literal ones. Let me back up. I'm Mason. 32. Plumber by trade. Quiet by necessity. Professional at being the overlooked sibling. My sister Erin? She's the family's pride and joy. Degree in communications, which somehow qualified her to start a candle business called Oraglow. 100% soy wax and 0% accountability. She burned through 3 business loans, tanked 2 partnerships, and still got a front row seat at every holiday dinner. Me? I fixed toilets. So naturally, I was treated like I betrayed the family name. When I was 19, Dad told me, men with tools don't build legacies. They maintain other people's. Cool. When I got certified, he didn't show up. Said he had golf. When I opened my own small plumbing business? Mom posted a story about Erin's candle pop-up on the same day, captioned, Our little CEO. Sparkling heart, and didn't even like my announcement. I stopped expecting things. Stopped asking for support. And weirdly, started doing better. I stayed quiet. Kept building. And when I overheard them last year, panicking about being behind on mortgage payments while Erin was still borrowing money for crystal-infused wax melts, I made a choice. I called the bank, explained the situation, and asked if I could quietly help. Anonymously. And I did. Every single month. No fanfare. No questions asked. Just quiet support from the background, like I always had been. They never asked where the sudden grace period from the bank came from. Just assumed fate was being generous to them, as always. And I never told them. Because I didn't want praise. I just didn't want to see them lose the house. Stupid, right? So yeah? When that message hit my screen, something inside me didn't snap. It just clicked. If they wanted space, they'd get it. In every possible way. By nightfall, I had already cancelled the payment. That's all it took. 1 portal login. 1 click. 1. Are you sure? Followed by, yes. So sure it hurts. I closed the tab. Closed the chapter. And waited. Because if there's one thing I know about my parents, they don't read fine print. They don't check their bills. But they do check the family group chat. And the second that pass to notice hits their inbox, that's when the real fireworks will begin. I had front row seats. Popcorn ready. Let's begin. It started at 8:04 a.m. with the kind of message that doesn't scream, emergency, right away, but leaves a smell. Like a gas leak. Or rotten leftovers. Dad. Did anyone else get this mortgage alert? Something about a failed payment? Silence. You could almost hear the confused blinking from Erin's end of the chat. Normally, she was too busy promoting autumnal aromatherapy to respond before noon. But this got her attention. Erin. Failed? Like one of those scam emails? Mom. No idea. Can you screenshot it? Dad. Image attached. A very real email. A very real bank. A very real problem. The subject line said it all. Automatic payment rejected. Account no longer active. And suddenly, Family United Revolving Hearts wasn't so united. By 8:16 a.m., Erin was in full meltdown mode. Erin. Wait. Does this mean we're late? I just ordered new wax for the Cinnamon Forest launch. That's like $400 I can't cancel. Mom. Everyone calm down. It's probably just a billing mix-up. These things happen. Dad. The email says our bank account didn't decline it. It says the external source stopped paying. That's when it happened. Erin. What external source? The group chat went quiet. Like a digital inhale. And then, exactly 17 seconds later, she tagged me. Erin. Mason? Were you covering it? Bingo. I didn't reply. Just leaned back in my chair, toast in hand, watching my phone buzz like a microwave. They hadn't even known. Nearly a year of payments, quietly handled, invisibly solved, and it hadn't once occurred to them that maybe, just maybe, the guy they dismissed like a busted wrench might have stepped up. And now? Now they were panicking. At 9:02 a.m., a private message came in from Mom. Hi honey, weird thing with the mortgage this morning. You haven't noticed anything with your account, have you? Maybe a tech glitch? Woozy face, sparkling heart. The nerve of that emoji combo should be studied in a lab. I left it on read. At 9:17 a.m., Erin tried again in the main chat. Erin. Seriously though, Mason, if this is about the message, I didn't mean to thumbs up it. I was trying to react with a heart. Grinning face with sweat. Yeah, sure. Your thumb just accidentally clicked thumbs up on my exile like it was a candle review. By 10:10 a.m., Dad got impatient. Dad. Why is no one answering the damn question? Who was paying the mortgage? Then, in all caps. Who stopped it? Another private ping from Mom. If you're upset, can we please talk? We didn't mean anything harsh. We just needed some space to reset. Maybe boundaries were healthy for everyone. Boundaries? Ma'am, you didn't set boundaries. You launched me out of the atmosphere and then tried to act like it was a hug. But the best part? They still didn't know the number. That it was $1,200. Every single month. Gone. Quietly. Like clockwork. I had made those payments without a single thank you, while Erin used her own funds for essential business expenses, like branded crystal scoops and wax color vision boards. Now, without my support, they were about to get reacquainted with financial gravity. I went back to work that day whistling. The kind of whistle you only get when your hands are dirty and your conscience is clean. Because when you're told, don't contact us again, ever, you listen. And when they finally feel what absence really looks like, that's not revenge. That's respect. Their rule. My obedience. And we're just getting started. By lunchtime, they weren't just confused anymore. They were scared. And fear makes people weird. At 12:21 p.m., Dad sent a voice memo to the group chat. Now, Dad never used voice memos. He barely understood emojis. But there he was, breathing heavy into his phone like an unpaid loan shark. I didn't even open it. I just stared at the waveform and imagined him pacing in his slippers, muttering things like, ungrateful, and, after everything we've done. But here's the fun twist, they hadn't done anything. They just benefited, silently, from a son they forgot to acknowledge. Until the moment he decided to stop pretending. At 12:42 p.m., Erin switched tactics. Erin. Okay, look. If this is about what Mom said, you know how she gets. We were all stressed. It was just a bad night. You can't seriously think this is the time to pull a stunt like this. A stunt. She called it a stunt. Girl, I was literally elbow deep in a leaky pipe when you decided I was expendable. But sure. Let's go with stunt. Then came the real kicker. Mom. We're trying to stay afloat here. Erin's business is going through a tough season. It's not like we can just fix this overnight. Erin. It's pumpkin spice season, Mason. I actually had to stop what I was doing and reread that line. Pumpkin. Spice. Season. Like that was FEMA-grade emergency status. We're not talking about food or medicine, we're talking about scented wax that smells like cinnamon, regret, and white lies. Meanwhile, the house they all lived in, the one I helped save quietly, month after month, was about to tip off a financial cliff. By 1 p.m., I was back in my truck, taking a break, rereading the chat like it was a tragicomedy written by people who never paid their own electric bill. I scrolled back to the message that started it all. We need space from you. Don't contact us again. At all. Ever. Crystal clear. No fine print. No wiggle room. They didn't even soften it with, for now, or until we work things out. Just never, loud and final, like a courtroom sentence. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't even surprised. I'd already done the grieving years ago. When I realized I was never going to be enough in their eyes. Not flashy enough. Not degree-holding enough. Not post-worthy enough for their proud parent timelines. But I was dependable. And they leaned on that, hard, without ever admitting they were leaning. So when I pulled away, they fell flat. At 2:07 p.m., Dad finally cracked and called me directly. Once. Twice. 3 times. I let it ring every time. Then came the voicemail. Mason. We need to talk. This isn't funny anymore. You're acting like a child. If you've got something to say it to our faces. Don't just ghost your own family. Oh, the irony. Ghosted? You texted me out of your lives like a gym membership cancellation, and now I'm the ghost? I played it back again, just to hear how angry he got toward the end. He always got louder when he felt cornered. Then I deleted it with the same casual swipe I use for junk mail. At 3:14 p.m., Mom tried once more. Private message. If you stop this, we can work something out. Maybe Erin can help with some of the payments until we get back on track. Oh. So now Erin was getting involved financially? The same Erin who once started a GoFundMe for her rebranding journey, because her labels weren't aesthetic enough? Right. I didn't reply. Because every time they messaged, it became clearer that this wasn't about family. It was about control. About expecting support without accountability. It wasn't. We miss you. It was. Please turn the faucet back on. Except this time? I was the plumber. And I was officially, and beautifully, off the clock. By the next morning, the mood in the group chat had gone from oops to full-on DEFCON 1. At 7:43 a.m. Dad dropped this. Dad. Just got off the phone with the mortgage company. They're sending a formal notice. If we don't make the payment this week, we get hit with penalties. You'd think that would spark a rational, adult response. Nope. Erin. Why would you even set it up that way? Who pays a bill through someone else's account? Ma'am. You didn't ask who was paying. You just assumed the universe wanted you to keep using scented wax and vibes as currency. Mom. This is not productive. Mason, if this was you, we need to know what happened. Did something go wrong with your bank? Did you forget? Oh, now we're blaming my memory? Lady, I've unclogged toilets with better flow than this logic. At 8:22 a.m., Erin really tried it. Erin. If this is like some power move, congrats. You've made your point. Can you just fix it before my launch? I already printed labels. They say homegrown and heart-centered. It'll look bad if we're evicted. Let me repeat. She said it'll look bad for the branding. My silence at that moment was a spiritual event. I could have written a dissertation on restraint. Then Mom went in for the classic. Mom. Mason, we raised you better than this. Did you, though? Because I seem to remember being called a wrench monkey at Thanksgiving 2 years ago when I offered to fix the leaking sink, the same one that ruined Grandma's rug. I also remember being told, and I quote, "You'll never understand responsibility like Erin does. She's a businesswoman. She sells fire in jars, Karen." And yet I let that go. Kept showing up. Quietly helping. Never asking for thanks. But now that the mysterious blessing dried up, suddenly I'm immature, selfish, cruel. Dad finally came in swinging. "Dad, this is about control, isn't it? You wanted to make us dependent so you could feel powerful. That's not how family works. That's manipulation." "Oh? So when you said, 'Don't contact us ever,' that was healthy communication. But when I followed your instructions a little too well, suddenly I'm Machiavelli? Make it make sense." At 9:10 a.m., they tried guilt. "Mom, do you think your grandfather would be proud of this behavior? He believed in family. He helped us buy this house. The classic move. Invoke the dead to shame the living. Funny thing is, Grandpa was the only one who ever made me feel like I mattered. When I got certified, he sent me a card, handwritten, that said, 'You fix things. That's what the world needs.' Meanwhile, Dad posted a photo of Erin holding a Girl Boss 2021 mug and wrote, 'Pride of the family.' At 9:48 a.m., they crossed the line. 'Mom, we're just asking you to be mature. Step up. Make it right. Then we can move forward.' Oh, so I need to fix it? Not the daughter with the six-figure projection, who still lives in your guest room? Not the parents who texted me into oblivion without a phone call? Not the people who only remembered I existed when the bills stopped getting paid? Sure. At 10:30 a.m., they sent a final group message, a desperate Hail Mary. 'Dad, we're going to lose the house if we don't fix this. We can't do it alone. Erin, please, just help this one last time.' I stared at the message, and for a second, I thought about replying. Just to say, 'You already had my last time. 11 of them.' But I didn't. I just turned off notifications, grabbed my toolbox, and got back to work. Because I wasn't the villain in this story. I was just the guy who stopped carrying a family that never once carried him. At 2:42 p.m., someone knocked on my door. Not a tap. Not a neighborly knock. A full-on, angry, open-palm bang bang bang, the kind that sounds like guilt in physical form. I didn't even have to check the peephole. I opened the door slowly and there he was, Dad. Red-faced. Polo tucked into jeans that were trying their best. Hair flattened by either stress or windshield. For a solid 5 seconds, we just stared at each other. Then he exhaled, like he was trying to blow the attitude out of his lungs. "We need to talk." No greeting. No. "Hi." No. "Can I come in?" Just command. I stepped back, not to let him in, just enough to show him the threshold was the line. He didn't move. "We're your family, Mason. This is not how we handle things." "Oh? Like texting someone to disappear is handling something?" He went on. "You could have come to us. Talked. We didn't expect you to just shut everything off without warning. That's not who you are." I tilted my head. "You sure about that?" It was the only thing I said the whole time. Because here's the thing, if they didn't recognize me when I was helping, they don't get to define me now that I'm gone. Dad's face tightened. "Look, I know we've had our moments. But this isn't just about you. It's about all of us. We're trying to hold it together. Erin's struggling, your mom's losing sleep, I've got my blood pressure through the roof. And you're out here ghosting us like it's some kind of power trip." There it was again, the idea that I was playing chess while they were just innocent pawns caught in the crossfire. He kept going. "We said things we didn't mean. We were upset. You can't just take everything so literally, son." "Right. Because when you tell someone, 'Don't contact us again,' ever, it's obviously just a metaphor. A love letter in disguise." He glanced behind me into my place. probably expecting signs of chaos. But all he saw was order. Clean floors. A quiet plant. My tools hung neatly on the wall. No drama. No mess. Just peace. And maybe that's what annoyed him the most. Because despite all the shouting, despite all the guilt-tripping, despite the "we're family" rhetoric, I looked fine. I was fine. He shifted his stance. Listen. Can we just reset? Forget the message. Just help us this month. We're not asking for a lifetime. Just a breather. You always helped before. Exactly. And what did that get me? Radio silence when things were going well. Cold shoulders when I achieved anything. A group text exile when I said nothing wrong. Behind him, a car idled. I saw Erin in the passenger seat, looking everywhere except at me. Like a kid caught shoplifting who now suddenly remembered she had somewhere else to be. I almost laughed. He finally sighed, ran a hand through his hair, and stepped back. Fine. Just think about it. Because if we lose the house... He let the sentence dangle like it would do the heavy lifting for him. But I wasn't lifting anymore. As he turned to leave, I said one thing, soft, low, calm. You told me not to contact you. That was it. No monologue. No sarcasm. No dramatic closing line. Just their own words, reflected back. Dad didn't respond. He climbed into the car. Erin finally looked up, not at me, but at the house behind me. And for the first time, I think it clicked for her. What it meant to lose something you thought would always be there. They drove off. I closed the door. And silence never felt so loud. Saturday morning, I was at the supply store loading pipe fittings when I got the notification. At Glow Candles posted a reel. And there she was, Erin, front-facing camera, bad lighting, wearing a sweatshirt that said, "Manifest more." Eyes red. Voice cracking. Hey everyone. I never do this, but I just wanted to say, I'm taking a short break from Orglow. Cut to dramatic piano music, sniffles, and what might have been a tear or just candle wax on her cheek. Due to unforeseen circumstances with my workspace, we're going to pause the fall line and recenter. This isn't the end. Just a season of growth. Keep glowing, my loves. Unforeseen circumstances. Being, the house is on the verge of foreclosure and the Wi-Fi got cut mid-label printing. But the comment section? Straight up Oscar-worthy. You're so brave, Queen flex biceps. Haters don't understand lightworker sparkles. Take your time. Heal. Rebrand. Glow again, sparkling heart. Someone even wrote, it's giving Phoenix energy. Bro. She sells wax in jars that smells like cozy heartbreak and moon nostalgia. What energy? I didn't comment. Just watched, silently, the exact people who used to laugh at my dirty job, now publicly unraveling in 720p. And the best part? Not one of them knew why it was happening. By noon, I got a text from my cousin Mike. Mike. Yo. Your mom just called mine crying. Said something about mortgage disaster? Is this real? It was. And apparently, Mom was now calling extended family hoping someone would patch the leak I used to quietly fix every month. By 1:30 p.m., and Rhonda, the same one who once called my job cute but not long-term, texted, Rhonda. Hey sweetie. Just wondering if you've spoken to your parents? Your mom sounded really overwhelmed earlier. Oh, I bet she did. Bet that. We need space. Message sounds different when the lights are flickering and the mortgage company's calling before noon. That afternoon, I tackled job number 3, a hot water nightmare in a rental property. Water everywhere. Screaming tenants. The works. And yet it still felt easier than untangling family guilt. By 8:30 p.m., I checked my phone again. Group chat, Family United revolving hearts. Still nothing. Just frozen digital air. But I had a DM, Jordan. My cousin. The same guy who once called me Manuel Mason, like it was an insult. Jordan. Hey. Heard about everything. Didn't know it was you covering their mortgage. Just found out today. Then. Honestly? Respect. And I don't blame you. You did more than anyone. I stared at it for a while. It wasn't flowery. It wasn't dramatic. It was the first thing anyone in this family had said to me that felt real in months. I typed. Appreciate it. Took me long enough. He hearted the message. And weirdly, that hit harder than any family dinner I'd ever sat through. Later that night, I pulled out an old framed photo from the closet. Christmas 5 years ago. Everyone smiling. Matching sweaters. Perfect lighting. I wasn't in it. Not because I didn't want to be, but because I was working. I'd taken the holiday shift to afford new tools. I texted to save me a plate. Mom replied 2 hours later with just, all packed up. No. We missed you. No. Next year. Just leftovers and radio silence. But Erin had posted her plate that night with the caption, Family is everything sparkling heart. Back then, it stung. Now? It made sense. They never noticed when I wasn't around, only when the money stopped showing up. And now? Now they were scrambling. Trying to patch a hole they never knew existed, because the one person who quietly sealed it finally stepped away. It happened on a Tuesday again. Something about Tuesdays with this family, like the universe scheduled all their disasters on my most average day. I was driving to a job, a busted water line in a strip mall, when Jordan texted me. Jordan. Bro, you seen this? He sent a screenshot. Erin had launched a GoFundMe. Title: Help Oraglow rise from the ashes sparkles candle. Goal: $25,000. Raised so far, $135. She wrote. After an unexpected pause in production and changes to my workspace, housing issues out of my control, I'm asking this beautiful community to help me relaunch my fall line. Then came the sentence that made me choke on my gas station coffee. Oraglow isn't just a brand. It's a lifestyle. A light. A movement. Let's reignite the glow together. The comments section was something between a candlelit vigil and a public roast. Top comments. Didn't you post a $300 pumpkin haul last week? Girl, just get a job. This is your third GoFundMe. Try turning the lights on yourself. One person wrote, I donated last time and got a candle that smelled like regret. Even her fans were hesitating. A few diehards dropped, You got this, Queen Fire candle. But most were just done. By 11 a.m., the fundraiser was locked. By 11:03, deleted. And by noon, screenshots were flying through every group chat in the extended family. Including ones I wasn't part of, but Jordan was. Jordan. Yo. Aunt Mary just asked what's going on. They're all whispering. This is bad. Then came the next text. They listed the house. He sent the link. 3-bedroom, single story, updated plumbing, you're welcome. Asking price, laughably optimistic. But there it was. The photo of their house, my old house, with a bright red for sale sign out front. And then came the final confirmation, Mom's Facebook post. Blurry photo. Caption. Prayers appreciated during this transition. Some things are beyond our control. Control. They loved that word, until they lost it. That night, I went into my home office and pulled up my file folder. Personal/receipts/mortgage support. Every monthly payment screen. Screenshot. Timestamp. Confirmation number. I never deleted a single one. Not for revenge. Just habit. Plumbers know better than anyone. Leaks only matter if you track where they started. I printed one summary page. Folded it in half. Slipped it into a blank white envelope. No return address. No explanation. The next morning I drove by. Their car was gone. Perfect. I stepped out of my truck, walked up to the door, a house I once helped build with weekend sweat equity, and dropped the envelope through the slot. Quiet. Unnoticed. Clean. I didn't wait. I didn't look back. By noon, my phone vibrated like it was being interrogated. Group chat, family united revolving hearts. Dad. Who dropped this envelope? Aaron. Is this real? You were paying the mortgage? Mom. Mason, please respond. We didn't know. Can we talk? Then. Dad again. You could have told us. No apology. Just. You could have told us. Like this was my communication issue. I didn't reply. Didn't react. Instead, I muted the chat, put my phone down, and went back to work, unclogging a commercial drain that had nothing to do with me, but still respected my presence more than my own family ever did. And for the first time, I didn't feel like the help. I felt like someone who walked away and left truth behind, sealed in an envelope. It was 2 weeks after the envelope. 2 weeks of silence. No texts. No missed calls. No follow-ups in the group chat, which remained a ghost town with a fake name, Family United Revolving Hearts. I didn't block anyone. I didn't need to. That group already blocked me out a long time ago, they just finally sent it in writing. One morning, I finished a job earlier than expected, a busted garbage disposal in a new condo development. As I packed up my tools, I realized the neighborhood backed up against our old block. So I took the long way home. Slower this time. I didn't know what I was expecting. A moving truck? A garage sale? Maybe a spray-painted trader on the mailbox? What I saw instead was nothing. The house sat empty. No curtains. No lights. No more garden gnome, my mom weirdly insisted. Protected the family. The for sale sign was gone. But so was everything else. Even the little crack in the driveway, the one Dad always said he'd fix next summer, had been sloppily patched by someone else. I parked across the street and sat there for a minute. Watching. Not like a stalker. Not like someone hoping for confrontation. Just like someone grieving something that had already died years ago. And then I saw it. A white envelope tucked behind the screen door. No postage. I didn't want to, but I walked over. The front porch creaked like it remembered me. The envelope wasn't sealed. Just folded. Inside was a note, handwritten. Slanted cursive. Definitely Mom's. We were wrong. About you. About everything. You didn't have to do what you did. But you did. And we never even said thank you. Now we don't know how to say anything. Folded inside the note was a photo. Christmas years ago. Matching pajamas. Fake smiles. Everyone arranged around a tree. I wasn't in it. Not because I missed it, but because I wasn't invited that year. They said there wasn't enough room for everyone. I stared at the photo longer than I should have. Then I folded the note again, slid it back in the envelope, and walked to my truck. I didn't leave a message. Didn't text. Didn't knock. They knew where to find me, for years, and never tried. Not really. I started the engine. And just before driving off, I looked one last time at the house. The place where I learned to work hard, stay quiet, and survive without applause. The place where I learned I could care deeply, even for people who never clapped for me. And now? I'd learned how to let go, too. That was the final thing they unknowingly taught me. And for once, I was grateful.